I have, I'm gonna start a poll first, get people excited. Okay, hi, this is Free Speech and Me. Obviously, yeah. But you know what? Um, I've learned the past 2 weeks, hello, I've learned the past 2 weeks that I'm losing faith in humanity. Because literally, please don't do that. That's not okay. I've learned that there are people who will literally mock someone's death. And I just think that's crazy. I think that is totally insane. I think that, like, just the death of Charlie Kirk being assassinated. Thank you. I've just learned that people have been, like, so okay with it. I don't care what you think about the guy. He had a family and he had a newborn son. That son is going to grow up without a dad because somebody didn't like his opinions. And I know, and it's totally insane that people are like, oh, his kids will be better off without him. I'm so over people acting like it's okay to make fun of death. Like, never in my lifetime have I ever lost faith in humanity. He will probably become. Well, I don't think that. But I just think that, like, Anyway, so I'm not gonna say where I live because I don't want people doxing where I live. Hi. I wouldn't mock somebody on the left. I don't agree with most of probably what Cenk has to say, but if Cenk got shot like that, I would be like, damn, I believe he has kids, and I'm not sure if he has a wife or he probably has a family. And that's just so terrible to think. I'm free speech in me. My name is Ann Kramer. Anyway, so so what we're going to be talking about, I am going to be trying, this is a new thing that I'm going to be trying to do. Maybe it's going to be successful, maybe it's not going to be successful, but I want to talk about 3 different topics, and if you stay here, thank you very much, and if you don't, okay. Anyway, so the first topic, and this is kind of housekeeping or whatever, but in my town, anyway, in my town, we are having a memorial put up, or not a memorial, a mural, a mural, not a mural, a mural put up for Charlie Kirk. And so there was a group of people who didn't want the mural to be put up, and so they went to the city hall and protested it. The mural's still going up. My name is Anne. Anyway, the mural is still being put up, but the fact that this person has probably never seen a Charlie Kirk video, has probably never watched it, and I'm not gonna out this person because I know this person in real life and I'm not trashy. But I will say that people don't agree. Yeah, that's my name. And the fact that, well, anyway, so like we have this group of people who don't want this mural put up, even though it's paid for by a private entity. It's not the city that's doing it, it's a private people, and the city already approved of it. I think it's wild that the city even entertained this because it was already paid for. And I think people have the right to protest, and they did it respectfully, so I'm not going to say that, you have the right to protest. I just don't agree with the protest. What do you mean by that? Just, oh, are you talking about me? Or are you talking about the group of people that didn't want the mural to be put up? Hey, no, Bear. Um, oh, okay. Well, they wouldn't have been able to stop it anyway because they already paid for it and the city approved of it. So we're gonna get a Charlie Kirk mural somewhere. I think it's gonna be in the city hall. The same thing happened with a bunch of atheist groups, like in 2020. They decided that, do you know the picture of the cross? What time? Um, I honestly don't know because they were on the news, so I guess if you really wanted to look it up, you could. But I know this person in real life, so I really don't want to have beef with this person. But yeah, I think that, like, they were respectful, but still, I think it's kind of wild that this person is saying that Charlie Kirk doesn't have anything to do with the Lake of the Ozarks, despite the fact that because of Charlie Kirk, because of people like Charlie Kirk, Tucker Carlson, you know, um, a bunch of other conservatives, I felt inspired to make my YouTube channel. I thought, damn, if these people have the balls and are brave enough if these people have the guts to do it, I can do it too. I'm from Missouri. I'm not going to stop people from looking this up. Can I just say one thing though? Please don't please don't go after this person because I, if you liked Charlie Kirk, you wouldn't go after this person. That's all I'm going to say. Um, but this person, I know this person in real life, so I'm not going to really say much about it. But I think it's insane that this group is always protesting stupid crap like no kings. I have news for the people who are talking about no kings, and that is that, hey, morons, if we had kings, Trump would have already had the freaking wall up by now. Kings don't need permission from Congress. He does. He has to get permission from Congress. That's why the wall wasn't put up all the way. So, like, I think it's so stupid that people are like, no kings. We don't have that. Like, go live in China and start insulting the president there. Or, I know they call him a president, but he's really a dictator. Go to China and start insulting the main leader there. See how far it gets you. I'm pretty sure you'll end up somewhere you don't want to be. So, and I'm not saying that it's a threat. I'm saying is that when journalists go against the Chinese power that be, they disappear. I've heard stories of journalists that have disappeared because they went up against, the narrative that the Chinese people were holding. To go do that. I think that it's so crazy that people are saying, no kings. What do you mean, oh wow? What do you... what do you mean, oh wow? Is that a bad thing or a good thing? My, 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 my bubs, you... I don't know what you're... Can I just explain? Can I just... I don't really get what you're saying. Can you kind of explain it better, please? I'm sorry. I just think that, like, it just frustrates me, though, because when people are like, oh, there's no... I'm not saying they don't have the right to protest the no... Like, I just think that, like, their name is stupid. Like, we don't have a king system. It's kind of... they have the right to protest and say no kings, but we have the right to say, look, we don't live in that kind of system. If Donald Trump wanted to put the wall up, if Donald Trump was a king, number one, he would be king for until he died. And then, we're talking about the protest that the Democrats do called the No Kings protest. And I'm just saying that I think the name is stupid because we don't have that system. Because we just don't have that. And like, you know, if we had that system, he could put the wall up. He could deport, which he is deporting people, and people are getting mad about that. But like, you know, people wouldn't have the right to protest if he was. I guess they could protest still, but that, you know, they would do it at their own peril. And we don't have that system. We are either a democracy. Are we a democracy or a republic? I know we're one or the other, but people keep saying we're one or the other, and it's very confusing sometimes. But yes, people like just mocking what some dumb people are saying, doing, and then also sisters or system. What does that mean? Anyway, so like I was saying, I know that this group does that protest, all those protests and stuff like that, and that's fine. They have the right to do that. You think it's the Jewish people's fault? Anyway, I just kind of think, okay, so to get back to where I was from, we have 3 topics that I want to talk about. I want to talk about, I just started talking about this, but the fact that there are people who are mocking Charlie Kirk's death. No, I'm sorry, I don't speak any other language other than English. Um, I wish I could speak different languages, but I just can't. Learning new languages is hard, and also, like, they have apps and they cost money. I feel like some apps should be free. That's just my opinion. If you want to learn a new language, I think they should be free. Because more people would want to learn them. Anyway, gotta go somewhere real quick. I'm sorry, guys. I had to go use the restroom. So, I'd like to talk about that. And then I would also like to talk about the fact that we have people who are now overdosing on Tylenol, pregnant ladies that are overdosing on Tylenol to just stick it to Trump. And I just think that is insane. And then, I just learned something wild. I know that people are like, I'm done with the January 6th crap. But that one, I think, is the wildest one. And all of them are wild. All of the things that I just said, in my opinion, are wild. Because never in my lifetime did I think that people would mock the death of somebody. I've never in my lifetime ever thought to mock the death of somebody. So, you can watch some people be a bunch of a-holes and
in the neck at his own debate rally. I try to avoid American politics if possible, but I've opened X to a bunch of little bitches crying and whinging about how political violence is never the answer. These people are gunning for politics that is inherently violent to its people. These people are gunning for politics that are inherently
no. Who?
Sometimes that open road isn't so open. When these worlds collide, tragedy happens. So slow down. Keep your phone down. Give farmers room.
When the stupid commercial ends, I'll be able to freaking tell you.
Each other out there. Watch for farm equipment. Save more lives.
Make your glow.
Can't stand commercials.
15% pure vitamin C serum.
For a limited time at McDonald's, get a Big Mac extra value meal for $8. That means
Can't stand these commercials.
sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on the sesame seed bun, and medium fries, and a drink. We may need to change that jingle. Prices and participation may vary.
I wasn't always here, but thanks to Purdue Global, I got my literal dream job.
It's called Yinka That Guy. So he has a compilation of videos, and I love watching them. They're hilarious, and he's a pretty funny guy. Yeah. There, you see? Okay. And then this guy, I don't know who this.
As you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're gonna find out.
That's a true story. This dumb bitch is like using God. Can you please write in English? Like, come on, that's not funny. I don't know what you're saying, dude, so I'm not gonna be able to respond. But that's okay. Yeah, I know it's okay.
Did I realize that what I was saying in that video was going to lead to this? No.
No, because you're a dumb bimbo.
But it seems like with my life, no matter how hard I fucking try, I end up fucking shut up. But I know that everything happens for a fucking reason. And I may not know right now what that reason is, but eventually God will reveal that to me. I love helping addicts. I love helping people. This job stressed me the fuck out some days, but I didn't care because it was worth it because I was helping people. I have no idea what I'm gonna do. My daughter is about to go to college, and I don't know now how I'm going to pay for that, but I know that I'll figure it out. And if you want to send this video to corporate too, that's fine. But to anybody that creates content, if you work at a treatment facility, if you work in healthcare, watch what you say very carefully, because it doesn't matter if you don't speak somebody's name. Just describing a situation is enough to get you fired. I did not know that, but now I sure do now. I don't know what I'm meant to do in this life. I don't know where I'm supposed to be. I'm trying to follow the path that I thought God had for me and wanted for me. But I just keep getting thrown in different ways. Maybe I make stupid decisions, yes. But my intentions are always fucking good.
So good.
I have gone through as many TikTok videos as I can possibly do the last 12 hours of those making
Many of the people you've seen cheering on the passing of Charlie Kirk started with this man who just moments after Charlie Kirk was struck.
Yeah, I know. So, I'm gonna show the guy again, but, that guy right there, he was, I don't know, as soon as, like, the guy got shot, as soon as, Charlie Kirk got shot, this guy is, like, cheering and really smiling, and he wants to say that he wasn't. I don't know what to believe as far as that is concerned, but it's kind of crazy that the police haven't looked into him more. Hey, can I ask you to please speak English? It's not funny. I don't know how to read Russian, number one. And number two, I'll just remove you from here. Because it's really not funny. Because I want to be able to communicate with people, and this isn't funny to me. You have been warned. Okay, you have been warned. Okay.
Right in front of him was cheering on the video that Charlie Kirk was in. Then you have this woman who was a nurse going on TikTok celebrating the passing of Charlie Kirk, and now people have found out where she works and are talking to her employers. This man who wrote this entire statement here is actually in the military.
I don't know what you're typing when you type in Russian. Because I don't speak Russian.
You have another woman who is a second and third grade teacher's aide who was posting.
My problem is that I don't speak Russian and I can't read Russian. So when you type Russian or whatever language you're typing in the comment section, I don't know what you're talking about. I can't learn right away, dude. Dude, don't be an asshole. Don't be a jerk. That's rude. I can't learn all right now. Russian's probably freaking hard to learn, dude. Don't be rude. Sorry, but I don't like that.
About that she wished she would have heard another obituary talking about Donald Trump, but instead she would settle for Charlie Kirk. And this man, probably the most prominent person.
I don't know if anybody knows this, but get away. Come on. Stop saying. I don't know who all needs to hear this, but I know, but I can't. I don't. Reading Russian and anyway, that's not the point. Just stop typing. Can you type in English the best you can? I'm sorry that it's harder for you, but it's way harder for me to know what you're talking about. I don't know if you're just typing, you know, letters and stuff and just pranking me or something like that. What do you mean, why? Anyway, because I can't understand what you're typing. Anyway, so back to what I was saying. Gosh, I forgot what the fuck I was.
Fired after their comments on Charlie Kirk was Matthew Down, who was at. You be trying to do something about it. You have another woman who is a second and third grade teacher's aide.
Oh, this is what I was going to talk about. Excuse me. What do you mean you won? It doesn't matter. I'm going to ignore you for right now. So if you are living in the United States and you threaten a president of the United States, that's 5 years in prison. That's 5 years in prison. You have people just casually going online being like, oh, Charlie Kirk died. You're next, Trump. Like it's nothing. People, these are serious crimes. These are not just like, you know, hee hee ha ha, like I said in my YouTube shorts. These are serious crimes. You can go to prison for 5 years, and there's a bunch of other stuff. Look it up. But just so you know, actually, I can pull it up. Okay. I'm gonna toss that away. For those who can't read this, threatening government officials is a felony in the United States. Both physical threats and verbal threats are criminalized. Threatening the president is a separate felony. Cases will be investigated by the FBI, and the United States Secret Service. Threatening government officials and judges can count as terrorism, and obstruction of justice. The specifics of what the threatener can be sentenced under depends on what specifies of the case. So, go back to not having a backdrop, just so we are all on the same page. Just so you know, we are all on the same page. It is a felony. You can go to prison. Any one of these idiots, these clown effers up on this screen, if someone reports them to the FBI, and they should be, because they are literally threatening a president and inciting violence. There's inciting violence. They're not doing anything good for this country. They're inciting violence. They're happy that Charlie Kirk died. and it's insane. But they could literally go to prison for doing that. Let's continue. Okay.
Wish she would have heard another obituary talking about Donald Trump, but instead she would settle for Charlie Kirk. And this man, probably the most prominent person to be fired after their comments on Charlie Kirk, was Matthew Dowd, who was actually working at MSNBC and went on air saying some absolutely terrible things. But more and more of these videos are coming out, and more of these people are going to be losing their jobs.
Well, I don't really care.
Hi, Andrew, Dimson. What are you or Dimson Moore? What you confused about? What are you confused about? What are you confused about, Andrew? Okay, well, I'm gonna clarify it. We're talking about the people that have been threatening Charlie Kirk, or not threatening Charlie Kirk, that are celebrating his passing, that he deserved to die, and they're thrilled about it. And then you have people who think it's a brilliant idea to threaten a sitting president, which I'm just telling people it's a felony and that you can go to prison. Yeah, I know. It's disgusting. And then they're like, oh, you're next. I'm like, how are you so comfortable, like, threatening anybody, much less a sitting president? Like, do you understand how insane that is? Like, you can go, apparently, which I don't even think this is, like, I personally think you should go away to prison for 20 years. If you are threatening a sitting president. But it's 5 years, and then some other things happen. I know. Their reality is like broken. Their like brain is broken. It's crazy. And now you have like pregnant women. Since Trump said that Tylenol might not be good. Even Tylenol said that, though. I'm going to put, this is going to be a screenshot of the, no, that's not it. You can't see it all. So it's not really any good. Yeah, it really is a weird time that we're living in. Well, like, you know, you have these just random women on TikTok that are taking Tylenol while pregnant because Trump said Tylenol there might be a link. There might be a link. But like, if for the people out there that identify that are Democrat, like, don't take Trump's word for it. Don't take, you know, RFK's word for it, because apparently he doesn't have a medicalology degree. Thank you, Salty Cracker. I like that guy. He's a great YouTuber. Just started watching him. And, you know, or Big Bird or Elmo or whatever. You know what? Take Harvard. Harvard is the one that said this. They have like 2 decades worth of research that say that. Do the research yourself. And please, for the love of all that is good in the world, please don't don't overdose on Tylenol. I've seen tons of videos of nurses that are talking about how women are overdosing on Tylenol, and one of them literally died. She died overdosing on Tylenol. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is insane. Why? And I just feel so bad for the family because because the wife wanted to stick it to Trump. That's so annoying that people have to stick it to Trump. Like, and keep in mind, this happened in the span of like a few days. Yeah. Isn't that insane how quick things are going right now? It's like you can't even catch a break. Like first, my gosh, what was that? First was like this, there was a Catholic shooting, and then like Charlie Kirk got assassinated the next week or something like that. And then, you know, now all of a sudden you have people overdosing on Tylenol because Trump said it's bad. That's the world we're living in right now. And it's only gonna get wilder. Oops, sorry, Archie.
Stop dreaming, start booking. Your next trip is just a deal away on Priceline.
You've been working from home, but your roommate just took up percussion as a hobby.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. With an Indeed profile, the more skills and preferences.
It's a Coke float. I'm drinking a Coke float. The ice cream melted.
2 years free from hair. Discover Bronze Smart IPL. The smart alternative to
All right.
laser.
Meet Haley Curdell and 911 dispatch.
Oh, this person is trashy.
She has been put on unpaid
Okay.
due to her social media.
Yeah, that person is really trashy.
This cartoon?
I'm not showing anything that's graphic. Okay.
I said I was terrified to think of how far-right fans of Kirk, aching for more violence, could very well turn this into an even more radicalizing moment. Will they now believe their fears have been proven right and feel they have a right to retaliate regardless of who actually was behind the initial shooting? That analysis came from the fact that I am an experienced journalist who has extensively covered right-wing extremism. That's also why, by the way, a lot of people hate me and want to shut me up. And I was immediately proven right. Many far-right personalities are using this as an excuse to agitate and retaliate against their political enemies. That includes former conservative leader Andrew Scheer, because this is what it all started.
There was a lady that was showing a picture. She had a t-shirt of what happened to Charlie Kirk, and I'm not going to show that for more than a few seconds.
It massively escalated when former conservative leader and sitting currently conservative MP and
Alright, I'm going to go to my...
spike that
Here's what you
the
just
sports disorder. Here's me, pregnant woman taking Tylenol. It just hasn't been science. She's popping Tylenol while pregnant to get WTF. Right.
Imagine hating Trump more than you love your own child.
Also, what are the odds these people who talk about believing and trusting the science
These people kill their own children.
Can get pregnant. Because this is the Assistant Secretary of Health under the previous administration. Like, y'all were taking advice from a man who thinks he's a woman. If you watch the press conference when Trump talked about this, like I did yesterday, Trump very clearly says, "Talk to
That's
your
what you
doctor."
call cooking, man. Woo!
If you probably should, but if you need to take Tylenol, do it, but not in excess. And it's not just Trump saying that. This is a study from Harvard. That shit is liberalism, but it's Harvard. Thank you. All Trump said is that autism rates and the usage of Tylenol during pregnancy are linked. He didn't say it's the only thing that can cause autism in children, and he didn't say it's a guarantee that it will cause autism. If Trump says that oxygen is good, I'm convinced that there are people out there who would suffocate themselves.
Well, that's where we're at this point. We're actually in kind of a scary place in society where this is apparently a normal thing. We are officially living in South Park. Bro, these are the retards of society. They really are. Like, this is insane. These people are fucking killing themselves and their children. I feel so bad for their children, man. Alright, here we go. Doing my civic duty as a pregnant woman and taking Tylenol because this administration is a joke. Literally murdering your baby, or, yourself, or giving your child potential autism. Literally despite Trump. Dude, Trump doesn't care if you're killing your child, bro. I don't think you understand how this works. But that's literally where we're at. Now, there's another angle to this, alright? So I told you, we're covering all the angles. Now, you think that this is peak retardation? You think we have reached peak stupidity? Do you think
No.
that this is the absolute depths of depravity and stupidity
No.
that the libtards are turning this into? Oh, you foolish little summer children. There is an entire movement on the internet that is currently protesting against Trump for, you've heard of trans genocide, autism genocide. Telling pregnant people not to take Tylenol is a literal genocide of autistic folks. Congratulations, Trump. This is exactly what Hitler wanted. Because apparently, autistic people are beautiful and awesome just like non-autistic people. And trying to cure autism is autistic genocide. Bro, what are we doing? What are we doing? Literally, what are we doing? This is retarded, bro. Autism, again, nothing but respect for autistic people. It's a mental illness. Nothing but respect for depressed people. It's a mental illness. What are you saying? We shouldn't cure mental illnesses because it's a genocide against people with that mental illness now? Like, let's not cure cancer. We're literally genociding cancer patients. Being autistic right now is horrifying. The government wants to eradicate us. Holy fuck! What are we doing? What are we doing? Oh my god, dude! Holy moly, man! Autism Speaks, an extremely ableist organization, works with them, and these people don't care about what autistic people have to say. Autistic people shouldn't want to be autistic. There's nothing wrong with being autistic, obviously. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with it. Alright, I value you as a human life regardless. But, like, what the fuck is happening? Autistic genocide? Literal communist in the bio, obviously. No one's
That's
surprised.
right.
Bro, what are we doing? There's thousands of these. Now, you're probably not surprised by this, because this was a movement that happened after Ozempic too, alright? When people came up with Ozempic, a drug to cure obesity, this was the reaction to that.
When they're trying to whittle down every single fat person, they're so excited that
Yeah.
they found a drug that makes it
I'ma
so
punch
we
you,
don't
boy.
exist anymore. And again,
Whoop.
not that we value any of these things. I consider them all very
That's what you
By
get.
being obese, you are trying not to exist anymore.
Oh,
You are
oh,
trying to
oh,
die of
oh,
your
say I'm
life.
big. You know.
They released a drug that said, okay, we cured blackness.
Bro, how are you comparing being fat to being black? Oh my god. Oh my god.
In this pill, you can be white.
Imagine being so woke, you just become racist. This is insane.
And then the problem will be the blackness wasn't the problem. The problem was the system that ever made anyone think they needed to be anything other than what they are. Ozempic and these weight loss drugs.
Oh, 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 say
they're
I'm
trying to
big.
exterminate fat
You
people.
know.
Literally, what are we even doing right now? Literally, what is even happening? Bro, obesity is a disease. You'd be better off if you weren't fat. I'm sorry, that's life, okay? You can outrun this disease, literally. But dude, what are we fucking doing?
Excuse me.
Genocide because people are making it easier for you to lose weight. What are we even doing?
Guys, it's a song time by Mango, okay? I have type 2 diabetes, but I manage it well. It's a little pill with a big story to tell. I take once daily Jardians, and each day starts. As time went on, it was easy to see I'm lowering my A1C. And then it names a bunch of things that can literally kill you. And then it's like, Jardiance is really swell, a little pill with a big story to tell. That's Jardiance. That's your Jardiance song by Mango. Give him a hand if you think he did good. That's right. He's gonna be right there. And now, Archie is coming on the stage. This is Archie. What do you mean, what were we doing? We were singing about Jardiance. It's a pill with a story to tell. What do you mean, what are we doing? We're being dumb. Oh, yeah. Oh, and we're talking about stuff. We're talking about how prego ladies are taking Tylenol because Trump said not to. Trump suggested not to. So pregnant women are taking that because Trump said not to.
Phobia is racism.
Oh, whatever, girl.
But, I'm a libtard, so I know better. Trump said it after all. It's a nice one. You thought this was a trend of just like a couple of retards? Nah, dude.
Trump says there are concerns about Tylenol, like pregnant women shouldn't be taking it or whatever. There are multiple ways that you can take what's been said. But to keep it simple, at the end of the day, he said, don't take Tylenol. And he is saying that out of an abundance of caution for mothers and their children.
True.
So he's saying that to make people's lives better, to possibly have less issues with autism. Now, whether he's right or wrong is debatable. There's science that goes both ways on that. But what he's saying isn't even political. This is more about how do we keep people more healthy? How do we decrease autism rates? And you have women that are coming out here pregnant, taking Tylenol just to spite Trump. They're not thinking, well, what if he's right? Let me act out of abundance of caution and make sure
weird,
I'm
huh?
taking this while I'm pregnant. It's better safe than sorry. No, they're going to oppose Donald Trump. That's what they're going to do. Their opposition to Donald Trump is stronger than the care for their child, I would argue. Because again, even if you don't like Donald Trump and he's saying this, and there is some science behind it, if you want the best for your child, wouldn't you be more careful instead of go straight to the internet and start posting yourself taking Tylenol just to...
You mean to tell me the people that vote for pro-choice abortion shit up to birth, you're telling me that those people might not care about the lives of children? Well, color me shocked and surprised. Color me appalled. Literally, I'm just gonna sit here slapping my forehead with shock and appallingness. Dude, I can't, literally.
Is needed when pregnant people use fever and pain meds that contain acetaminophen, including Tylenol. The authors don't have any new evidence showing the drug harms a developing fetus, but their statement does say a growing body of experimental and epidemiological research suggests that prenatal exposure to acetaminophen might alter fetal development, which could in turn increase the risks of certain neurodevelopmental, reproductive, and urogenital disorders.
Wow, that sounds pretty bad, honestly. If you were to ask me personally, that sounds pretty bad. It's almost like it's a thing that people knew about for a very long time, but they just kind of kept under the radar. And Trump exposed it, and Big Pharma...
You know, that kind of reminds me of when cigarette companies knew, like in the early 30s, like when they were giving them to U.S. soldiers in World War II, that smoking those cigarettes were bad for you and could ultimately lead to cancer, but they never stopped selling cigarettes. funny how that happens. Look, I'm not saying that if people want to smoke, they're gonna smoke. I'd rather, people smoke, like, and, it's legal, because then they're not, trying to go out and do what they did in the 1920s, where they're trying to find, like, they're using, I forget but it's stuff that's not, like, alcohol that you're supposed to be drinking, where people would die from doing this. So, but anyway, they knew this in the 1940s or 30s or something, whenever they were making cigarettes. And yeah, this kind of reminds me of that. And I feel like the more this happens, like, it's kind of wild. Because, like, it's almost like he's right. It's almost like they knew and didn't do a single thing about it. Like, as somebody who has autism, I find it interesting, like, what they're going to find out. Because, like, you have morons that are like, oh, it's, that couldn't have been the Tylenol. But, like, we don't know that. And so, for people to just, like, oh, so you know what caused autism? No, but it's not Tylenol. I'm like, okay. I mean, not Dr. Trump. Donald Trump never said, or President Trump never said it was Tylenol. He said there was a link. There could be maybe a link between taking too much Tylenol and your child having autism. He never said that it was a sure fact that your child would have autism. So,
I wasn't happy about it. So people are memeing. People are going crazy with the memes. And I appreciate making fun of retards as much as the next guy, because this is truly going to show that these people are retarded.
He was trying to prove that Tylenol doesn't cause autism because of what Trump said on the news. Mind you, that's a Harvard study. Now, whether or not you believe the Harvard study or not is not the issue here. The issue is that she's somewhere between 23 to 25 weeks, and she overdosed on Tylenol.
That's crazy.
And she's going to die. She's not going to come off that ventilator.
Holy shit.
And the guy got my phone number from somebody. Somebody gave it to him. I mean, guys, it's early in the morning. I'm still in Hello Kitty sweatpants in my gym trying to work out. And she's gonna die. It's gonna be, let me tell you something about Tylenol overdosing and death. Is that if you aren't administered the antidote, it is a very slow and painful death, okay?
So
because
sad.
Tylenol, as well as Benadryl and aspirin, are the three most common OTCs that people will typically try to unalive themselves with, so they don't get censored. But now people are just taking massive amounts of Tylenol to prove Trump wrong.
This is crazy.
I mean, weren't these the same people who put
I was getting there. I was getting to
and
that.
the pillars of science
That's
on a
right,
pedestal?
man.
And now they're
Excuse me, I have taken 5 boosters for the COVID.
I just want, if anybody is watching me, I'm not a doctor, okay? I'm not a scientist. I'm not the president, obviously. But if you are pregnant, please do not do what these women are doing. They are dying, and their babies are going to die too. Please don't do this. That is so unsafe. You don't need to stick it to the man. Like, he said consult your doctor, so consult your doctor, ladies. And I just think that this is kind of insane what's going on. This lady is going to die. D-I-E. Because of Tylenol. Okay.
Vaccine, I still wear masks. Anyway, I'm overdosing on Tylenol. Call me back. Holy shit, what are we doing?
Refuse to believe it. Like, I don't believe it either.
Literally suicide by retardation, man.
I'm also not gonna go overdose on Tylenol either. And it's just so sad because he has to make the choice of them going
I feel so bad for these people. Like, all of the indoctrination and manipulation and retardation that they went through to get to the point that they kill themselves because an orange man said, protect your baby.
and trying to emergency deliver this baby, and the baby may not survive. Baby's gonna spend a long time in the NICU. Hopefully the baby will survive. And remember guys, preemies have complications even if they do survive. I didn't ask him if he had more children, so I mean, let's say this woman they had more children. They lost their mother. Baby's not gonna grow up with the mom. He lost his whole life if this baby dies too. All because of TikTok challenges, guys. Everybody wants, like, not everybody, but maybe these crazy liberal women. They, like, literally hate Trump so bad that she killed herself and her baby, potentially. I'm just like, I don't even have words for this because it's such a waste of life. It's such a waste of life.
This is crazy.
This was a preventable situation.
It's so
This situation
sad.
didn't even have to exist. It wasn't like she...
And the media's gonna blame Trump for this, you know that. Media blames Trump for women overdosing on retard pills. Dude, this is crazy. It's tragic. Holy shit.
woke up and was in a car accident, a freak car accident, or something fell off a building and killed her. She willfully did this herself. And so I don't know. What are you guys saying? I've got to stay off TikTok because that's all the nonsense that I keep seeing right now.
So there are thousands of women that are taking Tylenol, some overdosing, small overdoses, some with big. This lady's dying. This lady's gonna die because she hates Trump so much she killed herself. And this is the media environment that we're in, where, you know, the radical leftist men will literally take weapons and shoot Charlie Kirk or shoot at ICE agents and literally try to murder people, and the radical leftoid women will fucking kill themselves. This is where we're at. What? This is where we're at, man. This is crazy. Imagine dying from Trump derangement syndrome. So anyway, the very MAGA Harvard University had this to say about Tylenol situation. I conducted a rigorous review funded by the Grand National Securities of Risks, blah, blah, blah. We found evidence of association. So that this is everyone. Right? Everyone that actually researches says we found something to it. Maybe we didn't find everything to it, but we found something to it. Of course, the worst part, and in my opinion, that lady that we just heard about that died, her blood is absolutely on her hands because she's retarded. But her blood is also on the hands of the mainstream liberal apparatus that's fucking retarded. Governor J.B. Pritzker had this to say: no evidence, no science, just solutions. But no solutions, just Trump peddling another dangerous lie, this time about Tylenol and autism. Meanwhile, the actual Tylenol account says you shouldn't do it if you're pregnant. But Governor Pritzker knows better. It's truly heartbreaking. Now, the memes have been amazing, don't get me wrong. The face you make when your mom took Tylenol during pregnancy. But dude, people have been I'm not gonna lie. People have been cooking. Alright, not gonna lie. Will not lie to you. The memes have been amazing. Like, bro, one of the most basic insults of the modern era is you have all the markers that your mom took Tylenol during pregnancy. It's like the roundabout way of calling you autistic. Don't take Tylenol. Don't eat poop. Do not eat poop, liberals. Liberals, do not drink your piss. Do not do it. I know it's yellow. It's nutritious. Don't do it, liberals. Don't drink your piss. Bro, this is what we're dealing with, man. This is do not breathe. Do not breathe. No, we actually, yeah. That's how you have to fucking talk to these people. This will not hurt my baby. 23 years later, bam. Literally disproven. Crazy how that happened. Literally disproven. 23 years later, bam. Look who pops out. Look who pops out. Obviously, it was a lie. Obviously. The people who advocated for this are now popping Tylenol for likes on TikTok. That's right. That's right. The people that went into the fucking COVID gas chambers, alright? These people are overdosing on Tylenol, man. These people are overdosing on Tylenol. I have 17 booster shots. I wear a mask whenever I go outside. I personally inject myself with retard serum all the time. Trust the science. Anyway, I'm gonna go overdose on Tylenol right now because our man said that it's bad. Literally, that's what we're dealing with. So, I obliterated a retard today on the internet. So this is Elizabeth Warren. She is a senator from the United States. Republicans would rather shut down the government than make your health care more affordable. And I responded with my opinion. Dude, first of all, double ratio this bitch. And I hit her with, aren't you the hoe that took millions from Big Pharma to push their agenda and artificially increase the prices of pharmaceuticals purely so Big Pharma can make more profit, as well as shut down potential natural cheaper cause cures, forcing us to purchase overpriced medications? You can literally shut the fuck up and shove your affordable healthcare up your ass after you literally advocated for increasing the fucking prices. Increasing the prices of medications across the world. Alright? Literally, you increased the price of pharmaceuticals. Now you're crying about fucking random bullshit. Healthcare is becoming more expensive. In other words, now illegal
Hello.
immigrants can't get healthcare. So I decided to kill her on the timeline and literally fucking ratioed her to oblivion. You should definitely follow me on Twitter. I hate this bullshit. I really do. I really do. It's evil and insane. Now, one of the big controversies.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go now, guys. Have a great one. Oh, before we go, I promised, January 6th.
Apparently, massive, colossal.
Excuse me, sorry. Excuse me. Hello.
Trample on your rights. And some of the videos.
This will be the last thing that I do, but it shouldn't surprise anybody.
Riot. An operation so disorganized that it unleashed searing frustration. It's close to 300 undercover FBI agents in the crowds on January 6th. Unbelievable. Top line here, and then we'll be joined by John Strand, who probably was totally entrapped by these FBI agents. FBI secretly deployed more than 250 plainclothes agents to the U.S. Capitol during January 6, 2021 riot. An operation so disorganized that it unleashed searing frustrations among many of the FBI's rank and file. The Bureau had lost its core competencies to wokeness and allowed for its employees to become pawns of the political war, according to an after-action report kept from the public for more than 4 years. Scores of FBI agents and personnel, many from the Bureau's premier Washington field office, sent anonymous complaints to the after-action team, detailing how agents were sent into unsafe scenarios without proper equipment, safety, or training, or the ability to identify themselves readily to armed officers and police agencies. The report obtained by Just the News shows. The most persistent complaint was that the Bureau, during the James Comey and Chris Wray era, had become so infected with political biases and liberal ideology that it treated the protesters from the summer of 2020 Black Lives Matter riots far differently than those arrested in the aftermath of the January 6th episode. The FBI should make clear to its personnel and the public that despite obvious political bias, it ultimately still takes the mission and priorities seriously, one employee wrote in the review. It should equally and aggressively investigate criminal activity, regardless of the offender's perceived race, political affiliations, and motivations. Equally aggressively protect Americans regardless of perceived race or political affiliations. That agent urged the FBI to identify viable exit options for FBI personnel who no longer feel legally or morally acceptable to support federal law enforcement because of their political bias. Yes. Goodness gracious. What a massive bombshell. Any other show? James Comey wasn't indicted. This would be, we've been doing this for a week, and I think we're going to be investigating this for weeks now. Confirmed. That's direction. Talking here about, like, morally acceptable to support federal law enforcement. Well, how many FBI agents were actually fighting federal law enforcement? How many FBI agents were breaking into the U.S. Capitol? Hey, Alex, you got to go to John Strand's account on X, and you got to get some of the videos that he's been posting about these...
So now you know. Isn't that crazy that there was 250 normal plainclothes FBI agents Is that sarcasm? Hello, oh, okay, no. Yes, I am conservative. And since the liberals like to sit there and go January 6th, January 6th, January 6th. Well, now we know that they had something planned. I mean, like, and granted, I really didn't believe the conspiracy. I mean, I felt like there was something off, like, about that day, and just, like, watching it on TV. I just kind of found that there was something off. And, like, you know, there was just, like, and it wasn't even just the FBI, it was Antifa that was there, too, at Philly, whatever that guy's name, I'm not gonna, you should be leaving Twitter, though, that guy at Philly Twitter, on Twitter, because at Philly Antifa should probably leave Twitter, because it's now you're a terrorist group. Cheers. It's cherry Coke with vanilla ice cream. I did too, and now I'm like, unfortunately glad I didn't. Because, like, it seems like a lot of bad things went down that day. And then, like, people just, like, turned on conservatives. Like, because, yeah. And they blamed Trump. And I don't think, I think that, like, I just think that it was, like, yeah. Yeah, totally. Even a guy who was a musician, who wasn't even at the Capitol that day, he just, like, watched Trump's speech. He was investigated. That's insane. And, yeah, you know, when you point out the only person that died was a guy that had a stroke the day after, and, Ashley Babbitt was shot. She was an unarmed person. I believe she was unarmed. No, she wasn't unarmed. That's my bad. Didn't do research, probably. But, you know, people want to act like all these people died and it was chaos. And, like, we now know the truth. These people, the people were led through. Were there bad actors? Yeah. But, like, now we know more about that day. The more I swear, the more we know about the day that happened, that they're going to use forever, which nobody, if you're a conservative and you got a Democrat friend, Democrat friend that's like, January 6th, January 6th, but the summer of love. That's what I always like to do. What about the summer of love? That was Republicans. No, it wasn't. They always like to act like their side, the side that's throwing bricks at fucking cops, is the bad guys. Oh. You'll have to forgive me, sir. But yes, this is a political channel. If you like what I talk about, I kind of talk about, I also do prayers. I'm starting to do, I do a lot of YouTube shorts, mainly. I do live streaming sometimes. I do YouTube shorts. But yeah, like, but it just gets me so heated up whenever people are like, oh, Republicans are the bad guys. I'm not saying we're perfect. Republicans aren't perfect by any stretch. But, like, we are not going to throw bricks through a window. Thank you. And I think that this is something this is very important to note. I think right now this country is in need of, just something happening. We have people like Hassan Piker, who believes that conservatives should die. We have people like Destiny, who believe that conservatives should die. Hello, FBI, please arrest these people. Also, I think Hassan Piker has threatened the president. I have a question for the audience, for anybody that's here. So, like, they say that if you threaten the president, it's 5 years in prison. I think that, like, some of these people who go online, I said this in one of my shorts. I said, I swear, the internet is such a great thing because you can look stuff up, but it is also, at the same note, a bad thing because people feel so comfortable going on here being like, yo, I want the president dead. I don't want the president dead, but they'd be like, yo, I want the president gone. Can someone make that happen? And like, people will literally go insane. And I'm like, how many times have you're just saying it so casually, like, yo. I'm like, who does that? Girl, do you realize that's a felony? That is a crime. You can literally go to prison for that crap. And then you have to pay like a huge fine just to get out of prison. Like, it's not, people seem to conflate free speech with making threats. I personally think both sides are sheeple. Some unknown organizations are causing things. I don't think that we're sheeple. I don't think our side is sheeple. I think that I don't think that my side is. And I don't agree with everything that conservatives do. I think that there are some conservatives that don't allow gay people to be in their movement. They're getting better, but I'm not being manipulated. I look at both sides and I see the side that is less violent. I'm not manipulated, trust me. I do my research. There is the one side that doesn't do their research, and I will tell you how I know this. Both sides are. I don't know about that one. I'll have to politely disagree. But I think that that there's that this country has been strongly divided, and like the only way that we're gonna get better is when like we need to stop allowing violent rhetoric. If like you have some lefty friend who's like going on and on and on about the violence and stuff that's happening, about being violent towards somebody, you have to tell them, stop. If you don't stop, I will not allow you in my crochet group. You are not allowed to be, we won't allow this type of language. And people will stop talking like that because they'll realize that's not okay. And I think it's crazy that, I think that like the problem, in my opinion, with the country is that the right just tries to get along with what the left is doing. And the left, as of right now, are a bunch of lunatics. Like, not every single person who's on that side is a lunatic, but a lot of people that you see that are online are acting like lunatics. I think that's and you probably were married before Trump got into office. So did you guys vote differently? Yeah, probably. So I think that's crazy that like somebody can, and I don't even understand how Trump does it. Trump's got a talent for pissing off the left, I swear. It's like a skill, man. Literally. Like what I was talking about with the Tylenol thing, all Trump's got to do is say, hey, there might be a link between autism and Tylenol, and you got people overdosing now because of that. You have literally people overdosing on Tylenol because of that. Both Republicans, 20 years. Trump reminds her of her father. Is that a bad thing? I assume that's a bad thing, but why? Because her dad is like base or something, or sorry. Well, I mean, Trump isn't her dad, but it's all right. And also, is it because of the SA allegations? If I can be asked, if I can just ask. Oh, okay. Well, can I just say something? And I'm not gonna really get into it, but Biden was also accused of SA. No one's making a big deal about that. Oh, some lady accused Trump of SAing her in a what are the a changing table, not a changing table, a changing room, and like he anyway, and then Biden was accused of the same thing, but not in a changing room, but like in like an office, like when he was a senator, I believe when he was a senator, or something like that. SA allegations. I don't know if YouTube will allow me to, but fill in the blanks. Bad things when men do bad things with women against their will, sort of deal. I'm not trying to get personal, but what I'm saying is that like there are allegations, and then there are allegations that haven't been proven, and we don't even know if this lady is telling the truth about Trump, and we don't know if the lady is telling the truth about Biden. Yeah, the person who is I am under the belief that like people are innocent until they are proven guilty, because I would rather let a guilty man go free than have an innocent man go to prison for 20 years for something he didn't even do. That's how the justice system is supposed to work. That's how we're supposed to, like, that's why, like, if you think, that's why, like, I don't like it how people are now all of a sudden being like, oh, you did that thing. Right in the face. And it's like, dude, you just committed assault. So you also committed a crime also. So I kind of find it funny that, like, also, by the way, if you threaten to kill a president, that's a felony. It's a federal felony. I'm going to put it back up there. You can read it. Right there. Absolutely. I mean, he could. It's hard not to be mad, though, at the left right now. I know it's not gonna help the situation, but I feel like the left has called, like, conservatives Nazis, transphobic, TERFs. Like, you just keep calling people Nazis, which, by the way, like, if it's so insulting to people who really went through the Holocaust and are Holocaust survivors, or people who have fought in World War II. It's so insulting that somebody would literally call somebody a Nazi when they don't even get it. Like, it's so insulting to, like, and so, like, they keep on pushing the rhetoric up, and they keep on pushing the temperature up. And granted, I think that, like, so it's not as high on the right, but I will say that some people do that, and I try not to. But like I said, I see people acting like they ordered a bucket of fried chicken with the side of crazy. Am I supposed to sit there and be like, yeah, that's normal? Somehow he could. Charlie Kirk was a better person than a lot of us. And yeah, I think we really should strive to be like Charlie Kirk. I just, I don't understand why somebody had to do that. But yeah. And I also don't understand, I'm going to bring it back to the beginning. You weren't here at the time, but in my town, we are having a mural done of Charlie Kirk. And the city already approved of it, and it was paid for by private citizens. But we had people who are against Charlie Kirk, probably never watched a single video of his. I don't know if I don't believe Israel did it. I think it's more likely that there's like, because they're looking into, I'm not going to really say who the FBI are looking into, but the FBI are looking into a group of people that are surrounded by Tyler Robinson, including his trans partner, because his trans partner, is either in custody or on the run. His car was left behind. Tyler Robinson is in jail right now. So, yeah, I hope that they catch him, because, like, there's evidence that he knew. You don't just text, like, let's say you and your wife are planning on murdering, like, you were planning on murdering somebody. You wouldn't just text your wife saying, hey, go get my gun. Like, if you didn't know that she would, if she didn't know you were going to do it, like, why would she know to, anyway. It really wasn't, but that's not really the point. Apparently, snipers said it wasn't really, I mean, I couldn't hit that shot, but I wouldn't try to hit that shot, though, because I wouldn't try to kill somebody. I don't know. I've never been in the military, so anybody who's, like, a military person, like, is that a good shot? I don't know. Some people have said it's not a good shot, but I'm not sure. I don't even really want to talk about the shot, though. People don't think it's a professional because, and I'll tell you why. Because this guy, he left his weapon in the forest wrapped in a towel, and his dad was able to ID him. His dad was able to tell who he was. It was not a professional, but because if it wasn't, and also, I'm sorry, FBI in Utah or FBI federally, but if oh, wait, hold on. No. But if this is the best photo you can give us, I shudder at what your worst one is. I don't see that. As far as we're aware, the bullet came from where he was, but they have evidence though that shows that the bullet, like the police, and you can look it up, the police, like they went on top of the roof. They found his nesting spot, and because there was a bullet case there. Like, I don't know, I've never shot a gun. I just know that when you shoot a gun, yeah. Thank you. I just know that when the bullet case, like, it fell to the ground or where it was, I just think that it's just, you know. I could not believe it when my bus driver told me this happened. Because, like, I thought this was insane. And, you know, the worst part is that, like, Charlie Kirk is not a Nazi. Somebody who I work with, who I'm not going to name again because I have to work with them, but they believe that Charlie Kirk is a Nazi. And, again, they are using that word incorrectly. Like, a Nazi, like, you know, people are like, how many Jews have, like, you know, people are like, oh, Trump's a Nazi. And I'm like, how many Jewish people has he killed? How many people has he killed? Can you answer that? And nobody can. So, I get so sick and tired of this rhetoric, but I just was like, sooner or later, somebody's gonna do something. And they won't be able to take it back. And I just hate the fact that this happened to anybody. Yeah, I'm glad too. Our community is awesome. I know that, like, that person has, like, a group of people and they're always protesting this stuff. Oh yeah, I watched them. He is so nice. He gives the people, of course he's gonna have a conversation. People are like, he interrupts people. I'm like, but you can't just let somebody talk on and on and on and on and on. Like, it's a conversation. I think people need to get away from, yeah, I mean, he lets people talk and, you know, he gives people, he even silences his audience who are, like, calling people names. Like, he's like, guys, let him talk. And so, like, you know, Charlie Kirk has a beautiful family. And, you know, that he just had a baby son, I believe. And, you know, his baby will never know what it's like to have a father. His baby will only know his dad through a phone screen. Or through the handwriting of his, you know, he won't get to learn, like, how to be a man from his dad. And that's the tragedy. His daughter will never be able to have him walk her down the aisle because somebody took him from her. And she was taken away from him by that guy. So, it's just so sad. And when people are like, oh, why are people so upset about it? because he was shot for talking. And, you know, I said this at the beginning of my live stream, but Charlie Kirk was one of the reasons why I decided to become a person who wants to talk about politics. I thought, damn, if this guy is brave enough to go out there with the crazies, then I can be brave enough and talk about politics in my room. I can be brave enough and speak my mind. And that's what I'm gonna do. You know, I've been saying this to people, like in person. I'm like, do you think that by killing somebody, you've killed the ideology? Like, do you think that all of a sudden being a conservative isn't going to be a thing that happens? Because I got a broken bridge to sell to you, drive your car over it and see what happens. Just kidding. I am, for real. But like, you know, if you think that you're gonna stop an ideology, like by murdering somebody, you have another thing coming. You're just lucky that this ideology isn't like a violent one. Like, I've been hearing that people have been like, oh, you know, I haven't been going to church in a while. Maybe I should go. Maybe I'll go to church this Sunday. Or I haven't read the Bible. I'm still not I'm really reading it slowly, but like, I'm gonna start reading my Bible again, and like, you know, getting back into my faith as being a Catholic. Well, I've always been a Catholic, but you know. Yeah, I think that I know his wife has taken over, and a lot of people have an issue with like her being the new person in charge of Turning Point USA. Like, they don't know if I'm guessing that they you know, I don't know how it works, but it will be interesting what his wife does. And I'm sure, oh, if she finds another guy, they're gonna be judging her for that too. Like, nobody can win in this life with these idiots. Like, there were people out, like, did you know that the Westboro Baptist Church was picket fencing Charlie's funeral? Because the gays, it's the gays. That's why they were doing it. They were picket fencing outside of Charlie's funeral. It's kind of crazy.
About these unclear.
Okay, so. I think a lot of people will. There's been a lot more chapters that opened up. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right, this is the one that.
Created on AI, artificial intelligence.
Okay, there it is.
Yeah, Westboro Baptist Church protest Charlie Kirk's funeral service.
Why are you guys here?
And there are some very interesting signs. Your shirt. God hates a British slang term for cigarettes.com. God is your enemy. America's doomed. You love death. The Christians cause T-slur sin. People are wondering to worship a dead man who didn't preach Christ. What this world is a satanic lie that is free will. And if people in general choose to serve Christ, the Father has to draw you to him. So I'm guessing in her mind, believing in free will, the idea that people can choose to come to Christ as well, right? That they can grow, change, or be redeemed is satanic. Unless God handpicks you, you're going to hell. So again, when people ask, why would the Westboro Baptist Church protest a conservative Christian's funeral? Anyone who tries to meet people where they are to have conversations becomes the enemy. I have read the Bible, and it seems like the whole point of Jesus' message was that people can repent, be forgiven, and change for the better. Westboro doesn't seem to believe that. They preach that God has already chosen who's saved and who's damned, and most of humanity is just walking targets for his wrath. They don't try to spread hope, they spread fear and hate, especially targeting gay people, as you can see. That's why I don't really hear mainstream Christian denominations, even the most conservative ones, really support them. In general, this reminded me of a few other clips I've seen in the past with a similar message. What if she like collabed with Lady Gaga?
God hates enablers.
Yes.
God hates America. America's doomed.
They blame a lot of things on gay people specifically, so like.
So I've got to go, and thank you guys for watching my video, and I hope everybody has a lovely weekend.